Good evening, everyone. Just ahead on Primetime News, the Vikings march over the Saints and find their playoff prayers closer to being answered.
Are the days of huge holiday profits becoming a part of Christmas past for retailers? We'll find out.
And also, internationally, attempts to overthrow the Argentine government appear to be over.
Those stories and the rest of today's news coming up next.
At Budget Power, the home improvement expert, 'tis the season to save on home improvement products during the Fixmas sale. Reliable home security from Schlage is on sale now. Easy to install, dependable keep-safer systems protect your home from intrusion. Schlage's state-of-the-art wireless technology lets you rest comfortably. Give yourself the elegant gift of new tone door chimes. The stately tone of chimes welcomes any visitor. Available with 24 different musical arrangements, new tone chimes make the perfect gift. On sale now at Budget Power.
Almost everyone could use a second pair of glasses. For sports. Or for times like this. At Vision World, 2 pairs of single vision glasses in most prescriptions cost only $69. Choose from over 100 quality frames in the Elan collection. And for only an additional $9, 1 pair may be tinted as prescription sunglasses. 2 pairs of quality prescription eyeglasses for only $69. Only at Vision World.
From the Twin Cities, this is the Upper Midwest first look at tonight's news. This is Primetime News.
The Vikings show why they're one of the hottest teams in pro football and why their fans are thinking Super Bowl. Good evening, everyone. I'm Maureen Reeder.
And I'm Jeff Baillon. Thanks for joining us. Today, the Saints came to town, but Minnesota did all the marching. Actually, the Vikings walked all over New Orleans. The final score, 45-3. It was an impressive win and just about guarantees the team of making the playoffs. Jim Gilliland is here now with more. Jim?
Well, this is amazing. The Vikings are as strong right now as any team in football. Whether that serves them well in the playoffs, whether they go all the way, we'll have to wait and see. But they match up with anybody now. The Vikings are dominating the way no team in the league is. They still have not qualified for a playoff berth. We should remind you of that. But it is almost impossible for them to miss. And they no doubt will play at least one playoff game at home. By the time the half rolled around today, it was 31-0. The Saints substituted at quarterback, Dave Wilson in for Bobby Hebert. But the story stayed the same. The Viking defense coming up with their second TD return for a touchdown. Jesse Solomon, just how good is this defense?
77 yards. We're getting there. It ain't over until you win the Super Bowl. Then you'll know whether you're there or not.
This is the way things look right now, and we'll hear from a lot of the Vikings later on in sports. But you can see the Vikings can finish no worse than 6 losses. And so for them to miss the playoffs, they would have to lose both games, and Philly and Los Angeles would have to win both of theirs. And then there's some weird tiebreakers to boot. And it looks very much now like we're going to be playing football into the new year. And we'll have more in sports. Talk with more of the victorious Vikings.
All right, thanks very much, Jim.
Thank you. Well, the Christmas shopping season won't be as merry as it has been for most retailers.
Most stores are posting only moderate increases over last year, and as Fritzy Borgward explains, the lagging sales could be a sign of an economic trend.
The shopping malls are again filled with music and festooned with the symbols of Christmas. For retailers, it is the season that can make or break the year, the season that grosses them a quarter to a half of their yearly sales. So how are they doing this year?
It's not as good as we anticipated it to be. Actually, it's a little bit better than last year, but not what everybody thinks it is.
For the past 6 years, retailers have reaped the bounty of an economic boom. But that growth has begun to slow of late, and this year retailers are expected to beat last year's sales by a mere 1 to 2% over inflation.
Consumers' closets are full, their houses are full, their garages are full, and their debt levels are pretty high. And so it's not necessarily that they're cautious as much as they don't have any really compelling reason to buy.
Pyle says the recent presidential election may have sent out a message. The federal government has to cut down on its spending. Perhaps so do we.
They may be just a little bit concerned about that, but I think the underlying factor is you're just in the 7th year of a economic expansion, and people's people's pent-up demand for things is just not as high as it was 3 or 4 years ago.
But if the Twin Cities retailing giant is any indication, sales are doing better here than in the rest of the nation. Dayton's optimistically boasts the percent of their increased Christmas sales may hit double digits this year.
We're very optimistic about our business, particularly since we know that other parts of the country are not experiencing as good a business as we currently are.
The store's just as busy.
I always spend more, but I'm always trying to spend less, but I always spend more.
But apparently many Christmas shoppers are paying closer attention. Large ticket items aren't selling well this Christmas. For retailers, it's not the end of the world. Just a slowdown in an economic boom, and many had seen it coming. With photographer John Overby, Fritzi Borgwart, Channel 9 News, Edina.
Well, Christmas tree sales are booming this weekend. Trees are abundant despite the drought this summer, but prices have climbed.
I love the smell of a fresh tree, you know.
Christmas trees are the type of consumer item that many people will buy despite a jump in price. The holiday spirit rises above the price tag.
There's a Scotch pine over there that I like, but yeah, I like the balsam. They're easy to decorate.
The price of trees is up this year, something the Tom and Bobby Davis family noticed at their favorite Christmas tree lot.
They're $1 more this year. I assume it's the drought. You know, they didn't say so, and you know, based on what happened with apples in the stores, you know, I expected it with the trees.
Actually, this year's price jump reflects a higher cost of doing business and is the first increase at the popular Wise Men's tree lots in 3 years. As for the drought, it will take its toll on trees in years to come.
The new plantings that they're doing now, they are having some troubles. So in the future we might see a shortage or lots of increase. I don't know, but as of the present time, we're not seeing that.
So how much can you expect to spend for a tree? Well, at lots around town, the lowest prices start at about $4 per foot for the long-needled trees, $6 for short-needled trees, and the top-of-the-line Fraser trees go for as much as $8 a foot. Methods of pricing vary, so you'll want to shop around. Some trees go for as low as $9, but roughly the range looks like this, from a small Scotch pine for $19 to a fancy Fraser for around $70. As for the Davis family, they, like most families, settled for something in the middle.
Thank you very much. Have a very Merry Christmas.
Now, about the only effect of the drought on this year's trees, you might want to watch out for sunburn on some of those evergreens.
Sunburn? What does that look like on a tree?
It's kind of yellowish, and it looks like a scalding on the tree.
All right, thanks, Maureen. At the Shalom home in St. Paul, a celebration of Hanukkah. Jewish war veterans sponsored this event for residents of the nursing home. It was a chance to share the spirit of the season with the elderly.
It brings back memories of the days when they celebrated with their children, their grandchildren at home in the family circle. This is just to bring them back to the spirit of the celebration of the holiday.
The 8-day celebration of Hanukkah is in its second night tonight. Still to come, the decision to keep Yasser Arafat out of the U.S. finds support on Capitol Hill.
And a coup attempt in Argentina has apparently been put down. We'll have more details on those stories after this.
On your path to success, reach for America's strongest financial helping hand, Citicorp and Citibank. More American families own their own homes and attend college with our help, and more get what they want with MasterCard and Visa cards from Citibank than from any other company. We also serve millions of customers in every major marketplace worldwide. Citicorp, because Americans want to succeed, not just survive.
It hurts, sinus pressure and headache. It really hurts. Sinutab combines the painkiller and Tylenol with the decongestant and Sudafed to give you more than either one alone. It stops the pain. Sinutab stops the pain.
The new Remington Microscreen Ultimate with the exclusive beard lifter stretches the skin and lifts whiskers other shavers leave behind. The new Remington Microscreen Ultimate shaves as close as a blade and closer than any other electric shaver or your money back.
Over 100,000 cars and trucks delivered here at Towsley Ford. Sounds incredible, but that's how many customers have bought from Towsley over the past 32 years. Fair treatment, huge selections, and volume prices are why Towsley is the largest Ford dealer in the upper Midwest.
The same good treatment, huge selections, and volume prices are why Towsley is the largest Subaru dealer in 11 states.
With over 1,000 cars and trucks volume price, no matter how far away you live, it's worth a trip to Towsley Ford
and Towsley Subaru, White Bear Lake.
Inlaid vinyl floors like designer Solarian are only 6 feet wide. You had to settle for a seam. Now Tarkett introduces 12-foot wide, lifetime inlaid seamless floor. No seams to spoil the beauty or trap dirt and moisture. And it's twice as wide as Armstrong designer Solarian. Lifetime inlaid flooring is warranted to last a lifetime. See Tarkett 12-foot lifetime at these dealers.
A 4-day rebellion in Argentina is apparently over tonight.
Government sources there say the rebels have laid down their weapons.
More now from CNN's Eugenia Halsey.
Citizens rallied behind the government, pelting the rebels with rocks. The rebels, holed up at a munitions base in a Buenos Aires suburb, responded with tear gas. The rebels said they weren't trying to topple the government, but simply wanted a shakeup of the Army's high command, an amnesty for officers jailed for human rights abuses during Argentina's last military dictatorship, which ended in 1983. But President Raúl Alfonsín, acting with the support of all Argentina's political parties, called the rebels an absurd minority and a threat to the country's young democracy.
I was calling this because this kind of insubordination cannot be allowed in the armed forces. It leads to absolute and total chaos. It leads to the splintering up of that institution.
The last time world attention focused on Argentina was during the Falklands War with the British in 1982. The rebels' leader, Muhammad Ali Senaldin, was a veteran of that war and is reputed to be a Rambo type.
My belief is that this man is a right-wing fanatic that does not respect his adversaries and wishes to use force to impose his will.
Sunday afternoon, the government said the rebels had surrendered and a full-fledged military operation to put them down was ordered stopped. Emory University expert Robert Pastor said the apparent victory was important to the United States.
The struggle in Argentina is between democracy and military dictatorship, and we have to support democracy, and if it succeeds in Argentina, then it can succeed in the rest of Latin America, and if it fails there, then it will be precarious everywhere.
This is the third time in 2 years that President Alfonsín has faced a military challenge to his government. He has, nonetheless, kept up a quest to put human rights violators from Argentina's old military junta behind bars. 5 former members of that junta are serving life sentences. Eugenia Halsey, Washington.
The U.S. Secretary of State says he hasn't broken any United Nations rules by refusing to let Yasser Arafat into the country. George Shultz says he denied the visa because of Arafat's link to terrorism, and he says that's clearly within UN laws. A majority of senators backed Shultz's decision. 68% signed a letter praising the Secretary of State, and Shultz says it won't be long before others agree.
I think it's a good decision. And as people get further and further away from it and look back on it, I think they're going to come around and see how important it is for us to be very clear and very firm in our attitude toward terrorism.
The UN has moved its next session to Geneva in protest over the U.S. decision, and so Arafat can give his address. The meeting is now scheduled for December 13th through the 15th.
Well, no news is apparently good news for the space shuttle Atlantis. It continues to circle the Earth on a top-secret mission for the military. And unless there's a big problem, NASA is going to keep quiet about what's going on. Atlantis is expected to return to Earth tomorrow or Tuesday. When we come back, we'll take a look at our top 40 forecast. But first,
the day that will live in infamy is being remembered tonight by a group of soldiers who were there. Pearl Harbor Day is not until December 7th, but the Japanese bombing came on a Sunday, and some of the servicemen stationed there had been in church that day, so 50 of the survivors of 1947 attack were honored today in a church service at Fort Snelling Memorial Chapel.
Why do we remember? Well, it's a day of infamy, if you know. Keep America alert. And that's our motto. So they're aware of what's transpiring not only in our country but around the world, so that we do not get caught in a situation like we did at that time.
I bet you're not wearing a bra.
You're a pig.
Night Court, weeknights at 6:30 on Channel 9. Sunday night, don't miss the action and adventure of Scarecrow and Mrs. King.
I'll go in, you two stay here.
I guess the best things really do happen when you don't try so hard.
Scarecrow and Mrs. King, unbeatable action and adventure, Sunday night at 10:30 on Receptive Channel 9.
Greg, Mr. Belton wants to see you right away.
Well, what'd you do? I don't know. So, Greg, when did you start hiring people to do your homework? What do you mean, sir? I mean, several of your teachers have brought these to my attention. This is way beyond the quality of work they're used to seeing from you. But, sir, I did those myself, on my computer. I know that, Greg, but what I need to know is... Yes, sir? What kind of computer?
There's one sure way to take the chill out of winter with the hot deals at your Twin Cities Toyota dealers. Get ready for the toughest winter roads with Toyota's finest front-wheel and four-wheel drive cars, trucks, and vans. The biggest selection in Twin Cities area history. 900 Toyotas must go.
Our Toyota dealer was tremendous.
I got a great deal.
But you gotta hurry. Winter may last forever, but Toyota's hot deals are already melting down.
Why rent when you can own for only $568 a month? For only $1,000 down, you can qualify for one of Dakota County Estates' Quality Reggie Award-winning new homes. Come see our newly decorated model homes located on 180th Street and Pilot Knob Road. Dakota County Estates features Merillat cabinets from Automated Building Components. We're quality homes in a country setting. Now available 8 3/8% fixed interest rate for first-time home buyers. We're Dakota County Estates. Call today, 460-6800.
While I was out shooting the Christmas tree story earlier today, the families were telling me it was taking them about 3 times as longer than usual to pick out a tree because it was so warm out today.
Usually, hard to get motivated.
Yeah,
you have
that's
to
right.
Take your time.
They
be more
can take
selective.
their time. It's
20 below,
freezing.
you take the first tree you find.
That's right.
It's that kind of thing. It was pretty decent today temperature-wise, but it's going to get even warmer the next couple of days.
That's wonderful.
Okay, we'll take a look at those high temperatures. Well, high temperature officially in the Twin Cities today was 33 degrees out at the airport. Low this morning, 19. No rain or snow to report. Sunrise tomorrow, 7:35. Now currently out there we have mostly clear skies. Our temperature is 30. Relative humidity sitting at 85%. Winds out of the southwest at 14 miles per hour, giving us a wind chill of 10 degrees. Pressure's falling from 30.16 inches. Taking a look first of all at highs today, you see some very warm stuff just gathering to the west. Saw 50s pushing well into South Dakota and 40s eastward from there. Looks like these 40s will spread eastward into Minnesota for tomorrow. Parts of South Dakota, Rapid City, and into northern parts of Nebraska hit 60 degrees today. We won't see that, but 50s will be right on our doorstep for tomorrow. As far as temperatures this past hour, they're pretty decent. Saw some teens last night at this time, but only 20s for the coldest temperatures. 23 the cold spot up there in Duluth. 42 the warm spot out there in Pierce, South Dakota. Mainly 20s for lows tonight across Minnesota. A few upper teens possible across the Arrowhead region. The satellite picture right now shows mainly high clouds moving into Minnesota. These are out ahead of this warm front that's pushing our way, and behind it you saw those warmer temperatures that are on the way. Generally high pressure dominating the weather over much of the midsection of the country. It looks like it's going to stay that way over the next couple of days. Zooming out on the satellite, you see a cold front down to the south. This is the one that passed through here yesterday, skipped right down to the southeast, but nothing much in the way of shower or thunderstorm activity associated with that. Peeling away those clouds, you see just one little isolated shower down there in Texas moving eastward. Some snow showers over New York State also moving eastward, but here we are in the middle, just sitting high and dry. Some pretty nice weather on the way for us. The forecast map for tomorrow is going to show warm air circulating on the backside of this high pressure system that's settled in over the center of the country. Looks like just patchy clouds associated with it over Minnesota. Warm front pushes through here and causing some snow shower activity over Lake Superior. This cold front to the northwest is one we'll be watching because that promises to slide through here late Tuesday into Wednesday. By Thursday, we probably will have a hard time getting out of the 20s for high temperature in our part of the country. As far as Temperatures around the country tomorrow, 45 in Chicago, 65 down there in Dallas, 60 across the East Coast in Atlanta. And it looks like in our neck of the woods, we're going to look at some very nice temperatures. We're looking for low to mid 40s over most of Minnesota, upper 30s across the Arrowhead region. So the forecast for the Twin Cities, partly cloudy skies for tonight, lows of 21 to 25 degrees. And then for tomorrow, we'll call it partly cloudy, some high patchy clouds, warmer temperatures, 42 to 46, southwest winds of 10 to 18. For tomorrow night, mostly clear, 27 to 32. And Tuesday, increasing clouds as that front moves towards us, 42 to 46. So not too bad a stretch of weather.
Sounds wonderful. Okay. Thank you. Well, it's been said too much of a good thing can be bad for you.
But we're going to forget that saying and take another look at today's Vikings win. Jim Gilliland will do the honors for us right after this.
And Hebert back, pumps one.
Imagine the power of a huge snow thrower in the body of a smaller one. Snapper presents its single-stage snow thrower. Lightweight, easy to start, and easy to use, with enough power to throw snow up to 30 feet. This Snapper cleans a 20-inch path with rubber-lined steel augers, and it's built to last with Snapper's long-standing reputation for quality.
Snapper single stage is like you'll find a size that suits you right. It's a snap with the Snapper.
Uh-oh! Ooh, forgot to add the softener sheets.
If only she knew about Solo. You can't forget the softener in Solo. Because Solo is detergent and fabric softener in one. Solo gives you a clean so soft, it's actually fluffed up higher with softness.
Wait!
Next time,
I missed it.
Get Solo. It cleans with a softness you can't forget.
A lot of Vikings fans thought the team would win today, but certainly not by such a large margin.
4-point favorites going in, and that just shows you the Vikings aren't getting the respect they deserve. They've certainly earned any accolade you want to lay on them. The Viking defense has now gone 4 games without giving up a touchdown, and if the Rams can help out by beating Chicago on Monday night, the division title and the home field advantage throughout the playoffs are not out of reach. The Vikings held after kicking off to New Orleans today and then scored on their first possession, going 70 yards in 5 plays. Anthony Carter ran a reverse for 21 yards, stepping out of bounds on the 2-yard line and not getting credit for the touchdown. Alfred Anderson, I should say, did the honors. Alan Anderson won't be pitching again till next spring. Alfred scores, Vikes lead 7-0, and the defense was right there whenever the Saints try to get something going. Jesse Solomon all over the field today makes a big hit on Dalton Hilliard. And then on the other end in the second quarter, Wilson finds Carl Hilton in the back of the end zone, 17-0. And just before the half, the Vikings got another drive going. Wilson rolling to his left, right on the money to Carter. Carter had 4 catches for 59 yards today. Wilson 13 for 22 passing and 3 touchdowns, 2 of them to this man, Hassan Jones. And it was 24-0 late in the half, and it looked like the Vikings would go in with that score, but the Saints tried to score from deep in their own territory, and the Vikings made them pay. Carl Lee, his 8th interception of the season, team high 32. That's a team record. He takes it in for a score, 31-0 at the half, and after that it was all a statistical war. Jim Mora can't believe it. The Vikings beat them 44-10 last year, and this year it is even worse, 45-3. Jones catches them in a blitz in the second half. Wilson picks it up, and it's a touchdown, Minnesota.
68 yards, touchdown.
We'd seen them, the last 2 times we played them on film, and it seemed like it was a lot of big plays, and a lot of that was that way again today. But, I think the offense kind of fed off the defense. They shut them down all day long, and we took the opening drive, went right down and scored. So I think that, we were just very fortunate to beat them as handily as we did.
We feel like we can play. We feel like we can shut people down. And with the offense playing well, it's just coming together for us. And no one can account for that but confidence and having a good offense and having explosive people on offense and having a great defensive line.
I don't really want to compare us to anybody. I just want to play Viking football like we've been doing. I'm not worried about, who people want to compare us to or anything like that. It's not important. The important thing is we're 10-4. Our goal is to be 11-4 after Green Bay, and then we'll take it from there.
And maybe that will be Miami on January 22nd. Who knows? Vikings win next week. They can clinch a playoff spot at Green Bay. All right, looking at some statistics today, this is how the Vikings beat the Saints. Easy, you outgained them 2-1, and the Saints led the league in time of possession coming into this game, and the Vikings took that away from them as well. In other NFL games, the Pack will be playing for pride next week when the Vikings take them on. Here against the Detroit Lions, who had only won 3 games, Packers got destroyed. Randy Wright's pass is knocked loose, and Devon Mitchell takes it 90 yards for a touchdown. It was 30-14 when they totaled it up today in Pontiac, as the Packers lost again. Bill Walsh and the 49ers stay in the playoff hunt. They're now tied for the division lead with the Saints. Joe Montana rolling right. The game's only touchdown, a catch by Jerry Rice, as usual. 13-3 the final in that one. The Giants look ready to contend. Things got a bit squirrely for Phoenix. They are all but out of it, as Phil Simms threw 2 touchdown passes to Stacy Robinson of St. Paul Central in North Dakota State. And the Giants won it 44-7. Chip Lohmiller, the Woodbury Flash, who kicked for the Gophers for 4 years, came through with the chips on the table, 44 yards as the clock ran out. Washington had a 1-point win over Philadelphia. Looking at the scores quickly, Detroit the winner, San Francisco wins. We gave you highlights from the Giants game and Washington over Philadelphia. It was Cleveland edging Dallas. Buffalo surprised by Tampa Bay. New England beat Seattle. The Raiders edged Denver. Indianapolis beat Miami. Cincinnati rolls on over San Diego. Kansas City in a shootout with the Jets. And tonight, Pittsburgh leading Houston in the third quarter. Well, the North Stars, winners of 5 straight, are off until Tuesday night when they play in St. Louis. They'll be home Wednesday night to play Bobby Smith and the Montreal Canadiens. Highlights in the NHL tonight, Pittsburgh at Boston. Watch Rob Brown. You may not have heard of him, but number 44 there has scored 24 goals, mostly thanks to Mario Lemieux being on the same line. Watch this play. Ray Bourque, a shot from the blue line. Watch, it hits the face of number 25, Andy Brickley, and goes into the net. Brickley got credit for the goal, his 10th of the season, but what a way to score. This game ended in a 3-3 tie. Craig Janney gets the goal here, but the Penguins rallied and tied it in the final 3-3. Other scores, Philadelphia beat New Jersey 6-2. Calgary looking very strong in the NHL, 6-3 over Winnipeg in the third. Edmonton leads the Rangers 9-5. The Twins traded Mark Portugal for a player to be named later today to Houston.
All right, thanks, Jim.
We'll be right back.
I kept getting these headaches. Then my assistant said, "Why are you squinting so much at those printouts?" I didn't mess around. Went straight to LensCrafters.
LensCrafters crafts your quality glasses in about an hour by putting the whole lab right in the store. So you can see better and feel better in about an hour.
No more headaches, great looking top quality glasses, and all it took was 1 hour.
LensCrafters, custom crafted eyeglasses in about an hour. Burnsville Center, Southdale Center, Lomans Plaza, Crystal Shopping Center, and now in East St. Paul.
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
It's true, Uncle. A Christmas bonus from your Hyundai dealer, up to $500.
Bah, no shrewd businessman gives money away.
But he's celebrating. Excel's the best-selling import again.
Celebrating? Humbug.
Right now, you can save up to $500 on an Excel. Even apply it to your down payment.
500, you say? Bah! It's true. All true.
Save up to $500 with factory-to-dealer incentives at your Hyundai dealer. But hurry, time is limited.
The heat is on. We're going to take another look at the weather.
Yeah, next couple of days look warm, but a cooling trend by Thursday or so. Here's the forecast for tomorrow. Just patchy clouds, warmer temperatures, highs of 42 to 46.
Sounds delightful. We'll leave you tonight with some holiday music as performed by the Minnesota Boy Choir.
These young men, ages 8 to 14, were in concert today at Landmark Center in St. Paul.
Our photographer Ken Peterson has captured some of their music on tape. Enjoy it and have a good evening.